evening and welcome to the Upper St. Clair varsity hockey game. We've taken the Channel 7 show on the road this evening at the South Point here at the Isoplex, where your Panthers will take on Canon-McMillan in their home rink. A big-time game for the first place in Section 1 here, and the rafters, folks, are filled to the rim. Kurt Carruth along with Bonnie Livingston filling in, and boy, I'll tell you, we are good getting the camera as we just made it towards the end of the national anthem. So a beautiful facility here at South Point. Former practice area of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Not sure if they are still practicing here, but a beautiful facilities with Jay's Restaurant straight across. Is this guy going to be in the way? And our face-off is dropped, and the Panthers now are in their home black uniforms trimmed in white and red, and Canon-McMillan here with the beautiful home whites with the blue trim. Going to be taken out on the left wing, and he'll power forward here. Matt Reggett in goal here this evening at a fantastic season, leading the goals against averages amongst all AAA PIHL players. Might be able to even get some input here tonight with one of the coaches, and he's sidelined, Tom Pandolfo. So welcome to the Channel 7 broadcast booth, Tom.
Well, thanks a lot, Kurt. This should be a great game tonight.
Well, I got to tell you, we've always coveted your coaching skills, and I've got to take my hat off to you. I think you've obviously been successful in the AAA ranks, and one of the neat things you've always preached when you've coached the North Allegheny teams have been the strong defense, and I've got to give you credit. This Panther team this year has had an unbelievable defense, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with you.
Well, I think it really starts with, first of all, it always starts from the net out. It starts with great goaltending, and we obviously got, I think, the best goaltender in the league in Ken Reggett, number one. Number two, if you really look at the defensemen, you can throw any six of them out. You've got tremendous leadership, the boot, tremendous passion by Eric Surma, a lot of skill that we get at nearly every position, and I think that's the foundation of the team, is just we have a lot of great talent. I think it all starts with talent.
And a great point. I mean, in St. Clair teams of old, and you've coached against them, it's always been an emphasis, if you will, on the offense. And, they say in football that defense wins championships, and I am a firm believer that the boys actually do take pride, Tom, in their defensive skills.
I think, you're absolutely right on that. Larry's done a good job at building an identity for the program this year that starts with defense. And, we haven't won every single game, which means we're not perfect, but we're in every single game because of great goaltending and great defense.
And I tell you, when Mike Stein has had to fill in, he has been no slouch either. So, again, you need sometimes to go forward in this league, and I think one of the reasons the Panthers are in fighting for that top spot has been two great goaltenders as well.
And the young guy has actually done a really good job. He played a very difficult opponent against Bethel Park last week, which was very hungry and desperate, and he pretty much shut the door on him, leaving the 2 goals and playing overtime, which is a great experience for a freshman.
Well, that's great. We'll have you here throughout the broadcast. We appreciate your input, and boy, I tell you what, this is exciting times to be here watching, and good luck to you guys and the team in the upcoming Penguin Cup.
Well, thank you.
So again, play has just pretty much been spotty back and forth here. Nothing really to show for it. Not too sure if there's been even many shots on goal here. A defensive struggle here in the neutral ice area. Play's going to be taken by Gralty, and he's going to exit stage left as he dumps it, and the Panthers will go on a wholesale line change here. Play comes back to the point, and Klein, and he has been on fire this season, and a good backhander from about 20, and a good save by the goaltender here for Canon-McMillan. Paloris Ryan is in goal, and Matt Reggett, and I think you even said Ken Reggett. I do it all the time, Tom, but Matt Reggett, number 1, in goal for the Panthers. going to maybe get a chance to take my jacket off here. Boy, I tell you, this is another facility they don't freeze you out of. My two favorite facilities are this one and the Mount Lebanon facility, where it's always room temperature, but I think even the ice can get a little dicey on that Mount Lebanon rink, if you will.
Yeah, but this has always been a pretty good fun rink to play in, and it's got great fans in it. And
Penguins still playing here, or you know if they still practice here or no?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know the Penguins would practice at this facility for a while, and not sure if they're still doing that. Here comes a breakout. Sellup, and he's been on fire. He's coming down the left wing, a wrister, and he just hammers out wide. And boy, I'll tell you, he came to play last game, Tom, against Bethel Park, where he was the only goal scorer, and a couple brilliant plays set up by Schneiders and Klein in that exchange.
Justin's just been a tremendous job. His role really on the team is he's the big guy. He's got to drive the net, open up some space for Theo and James, and as a sophomore, he's done an absolutely tremendous job, and this kid's got a heck of a future in front of him.
And the hands on that big guy are just something to behold.
He can shoot the puck, flat-out shooter.
I think the keys to this game, big save by Reagan in front, and it's loose, and another stellar defensive play by Harbison, and boy, it's good to see Robbie back, and boy, he's just another one. Talk about young talent here in the Panthers organization. Boy, what a solid blue liner number 36 has been.
There's not a team at AAA that quite frankly has the 6 defensemen that we can support, plain and simple.
I think the keys to the game, and boy, the Panthers here have seemed to really put the hurting on teams when they get off to that early lead. A game like this, it could come down to I don't think this is going to be a shootout. This perhaps could be a defensive struggle, and it could be a 1 or 2-0 game that could be the final outcome here.
And this should be very similar to the last time we played Canon-Mac. It should be a 1-1, 2-1, 3-2 game. It should go right down to the final shot.
Well, we have a stop and play, and 5:31 remains here, I think, or it's either 9:31. We're kind of blocked by the, I think that's 9:25 actually, kind of blocked by the heating duct, and we're going to have our first penalty here. And I think Galarowski actually drew that penalty here, and Canon-McMillan's going to get the gate, and the Panthers will find themselves on the first man advantage here. And a 2-minute tripping minor penalty will be doled out to number 27, Almasy. And the Panthers now will put their big gun unit out, the Klein, Sellup, and Schneiders line, flanked by Escherick and number 18 for the Panthers. C.J. Murray, yeah. Boy, I tell you what, it's like not used to seeing C.J. back. He's back from, I think, a little injury, but a offenseman. They're putting the 4 forwards out there, to Tom, and they're going with the big guns here. Good outlet pass there by Reagan, and he's going to find Schneiders over to Sellup, and a wrister comes loose. Klein's got a shot. Oh, my, what a save by the goaltender. Ryan, and boy, Klein had a point-blank shot, but was unable to get that off quickly. Back to the point where Escherick fans on the shot, but he'll shoot it back over to Murray.
CJ's showing a lot of good speed right now. He's really moving his legs, and that's opened up some space.
Good little one-timer there by Schneiders, and that shot will go wide. Panthers still here on the man advantage. Klein's going to take it, walks right in, shot on, and another save by Ryan, and a quality shot there by number 11. And it seemed like they've got Canon-McMillan just backing in here, and a big-time shot there by Klein.
Yeah, one thing Canon-Mac's doing, at least with respect to our top line, is they're giving a little bit too much respect, and that's to our favor. That's opening up some space for us, Kurt.
Well, we've got him packed to the rafters. Bonnie's got her work cut out for him, keeping the fans down here. So we're in uncharted territory here, but I don't think I've ever seen a Canon-McMillan crowd here. Boy, they've got them filled to the rink. And the interesting thing is, boy, parking was certainly at a premium here this evening. 47 seconds remains, 47 seconds, excuse me, remains in the man advantage. Whoever the engineer of this building was, the sight line is horrible, absolutely horrible for the scoreboard here. And you can't see the time or the score as it's being blocked by the heaters that are in place in this facility. Back to the point. Whoa, big time shot by Phillips there, number 10. And boy, he's been throwing his weight around. And it's just amazing, Tom, from year to year, how you see the development and the physical just growth spurts that these kids have between that 9th, 10th, and 11th grade.
That's the time when you get the big spurts, and you notice it more so, exactly like you said, especially I think between 15 and 16, Kurt. And actually you see it during the season as well, too.
Yeah, Bonnie, take matters into your own hand. If you have to move the camera, let's move down a little bit. They've got other people filming in here, and we're just trying to fit in a hostile environment here, if you will. So we're doing the best we can, and
well, so far we're keeping their fans pretty quiet, which is good news.
Well, they've come to play, that's for sure. And I think, again, if the Panthers can take the fans here out of the game, I think that first tally is going to be all important, and that'll do it. We're back to skating now, 5-on-5. Oh, and a little mini giveaway here, but a good play by Klein to play both ends of the ice here. Play's going to come back into the corner where that's taken by number 19, DeGangi. He looks for an outlet to Sellup, and he's unable to control, and that'll come right back on the tape for number 72, Thomas. He's going to wrist it around the corner. Oh, and a wide-angle shot and a big save by Reggett. Play comes around the corner back to the point, unable to keep it in, and the Panthers will take the rush back to center. Got a delayed offside here, and the Panthers will have to regroup, and it's again taken here by Almsey. Going to chip it back. Looks like Canon-McMillan will go on a whole shift. Just their own. Play is taken here. Come on the off wing, and he's going to take a big time slap shot, and that shot will be deflected into the meshing, and we'll have a stop in play with 6:14 remaining here in the first. Your score 0-0. Face-off controlled by Canon-Mac. That shot will come off the far board, and a good outlet, and a little mini 2-on-1 developed, but unable to control as he straddled the blue line. Taken here by number 16. Forgot my bifocals here, excuse me, folks. A Motiqua, and that play will come back to the neutral ice area where Canon-Mac will regroup. Played out by number 6. And for Canon-Mac, a little mini breakaway shot on, and Big Ben struck one as he hit the pipe, and another shot from a wide angle, and the goaltender's best friend there, Tom, and boy, Reggett dodged a bullet there.
Plain and simple, he's the equalizer.
We may look back on that, folks, and you can hear that little ping right all the way up here at the center ice area, and we've got basically the best seat here in the house. Little play there, and a good play by Esherick, and boy, I gotta tell you, I am just extremely impressed with his game. Oh my, and a rebound, and he shot it into his own forward skate here, and that just went by the mark. It's been all Canon-Mac here, and the Panthers have to be careful. And again, they've just got to be patient here, Tom. These are games that you just can't really take any gambles or chances. You just got to buy your time and, again, wait for that opportunity, and it may only need one or two.
Well, you're absolutely right, Kurt, about buying your time and not making the big mistake. And usually you create your opportunities or commit the mistakes at the blue lines, and that's something we're going to have to watch very closely tonight.
Here comes C.J. Murray, and boy, when he gets the motor going, he's doing unbelievable things here, and he's going to be tied up by two Canon-Mac players. Comes back to center, and Harbison just getting a ton of ice time here tonight, folks. Beautiful pass right on the tape of Phillips, and he'll bank it in, and he'll look for a change. Going to be played out around behind goaltender Ryan by number 81. Still loose at center. Oh, and the Panthers have a break here. They're caught in a little line change here. Unable to control, and that's still going to come around the corner where Sarmo come in late to the play, but he'll have to back it up. Good outlet pass right on the tape for number 36. And it's going to be cleared the length of the ice. And icing will be waved off, and they'll let him play on here with 3:48 remaining here in the first. A little outlet look for Rivetti. He's unable to control. Give and go. Shot on. Oh, what a save in front by Ryan. Another nifty pass. And boy, I'll tell you, Sellup usually doesn't miss from that angle. Right on his tape. Shot on by Schneiders and a save. And there is no rebound. Good little flurry there. Boy, I'll tell you, very unselfishly, Klein giving up the play right in front. And Sellup coming down that off wing, and he rammed it home, and a better save by Ryan.
It always starts with the pass, Kurt, and I think the thing that we'll watch tonight is Canon-Mac does have a tendency for the defenseman to join the rush a little bit early, and that'll give us some opportunities to get some odd man breaks, and hopefully we can take advantage of it.
One thing that I've noticed, Tom, is, and I don't know if if this is common in hockey, and again, you've coached the game, been around it for a long time, but one of the interesting things I find is that a lot of these players enjoy playing off that their off wing, if you will. So you'll find a lot of right-handed shooters coming down the left side and vice versa, and I don't know if that's something that they work on or if it's something that they prefer.
A lot of times it's a function of design and preference, Kurt, because when you're coming in off what we call the off wing, you get more space to shoot at with the net, so it gives you better goal scoring opportunities off the off wing.
Yeah, it seems like the Panthers have many players, Tom, too, that have enjoyed that, and I've made several comments in the telecast this season, and we've scored a lot of goals from that area. Especially
given the fact that a lot of our big guns are left-handers as well, too, and that always comes in handy when you got guys like Klein and Sellup out there, and C.J. Murray and Timmy for you. That gives us a lot of great opportunities off of that off wing.
Yeah, only so many left-handers to go. Eventually, it might even be just a function of it is what it is.
It's almost like in baseball, isn't it? They always say they want left-handed pitchers. You kind of like left-handers in hockey as well. You never get too many of those guys.
Boy, just a very exciting first period here. Just been end-to-end, a little cautious on both sides of the equation. Couple very good scoring opportunities for both teams here. And again, the goaltenders have shined here early in the first. Taken here by captain number 8, Sermon. He's going to ram at the length of the ice. And icing will be called with 2 minutes remaining here in the first, scoreless at 0. Little spoiled from the home rink. We have our rosters that are starting with 1, and they go to the higher number players. And thanks to Joe Sellup here, he was able to print the roster for Canon-McMillan. Unfortunately, it's a hodgepodge. They start with 27 and go to 00, then 17. So it's taken me a little bit of time here. They do have some names on the back of the jersey, so we'll do the best that we can. And taken here by Esherick, and he looks to connect with Trombetta, unable to control, and Giralti will ram it home. Another left-handed forward for the Panthers on a delayed offside. That'll come by the mark by number 17, Delisandro. Good defensive effort here by the Panthers on the forecheck. Galarowski, boy, I'll tell you, little guy, but he really can move and throws his little weight around. He's been a great player for the Panthers as well this season.
He's somebody that's actually kind of special to me, Kurt. I'm a little guy. I'm only 5'2" myself. I've spent a lot of time with Stevie telling him that, you can be short but not small. And you got to learn how to be the first one in, just like Walter Payton was when he's a running back, and he's bought into. He's really come along strong.
And I tell you, Tom, I just, I've told you this before off the camera. I think one of the things that I'm just so impressed with the coaching staff and you in particular is the fact that, you know, you really bring the mental side of the game, and there's so much in sports. You talk about the Tiger Woods of the world, and, you know, how does this guy make every single putt he has to, and he's just so mentally strong. And you think a game like hockey where it's so physical, and I think the thing that impresses me about you is you really, in a calm voice, can bring the mental side of this game, and I think it's really developed these kids, not only on the ice, but in lifelong situations.
Well, you know, I appreciate the compliment, but you know something, a lot of times you get lucky with kids as a coach. And if you just go down this roster right now, and I think a good challenge would be to look at it 15 years from now, and I think you're going to find yourself maybe 10 or 12 kids that are vice presidents of companies, presidents, self-employed owners, maybe political leaders as well, too. And that's not coaching, that's just good luck.
And I tell you, one of the other impressive things when we do the you know, the banquet every season at the, I'm not sure if that's going to be at the Crown Plaza here again, but they let me MC that each season. And one of the impressive things is we usually talk about, you know, and even on senior night, I was unable to be there this season, but boy, the awards and the QPAs and the education, all these kids are just great students as well as good kids.
We don't have a student in my knowledge that has a grade point average under 3.0. I think the majority of them are over 3.5 in advanced placement classes, which is amazing.
Yeah, and boy, I tell you, just another testimony to a great program. We've just got to take it to the next level. I've, you know, been doing this for about 6 or 7 years here, as my stepson used to go to St. Clair. Now he's, show you how time flies. Kyle Wolfley's a senior at West Point, so he'll be graduating from the military academy, and congratulations to Kyle. But one of the impressive things here is it's just year after year, the Panthers, you get to these levels, and boy, you just want to see them take it that one more step, and I'm just kind of hoping this season can be the one.
Well, you know, I think there's a great opportunity for it this year, Kurt, and you know, I think every team has to have belief in something and belief towards particular common goals, and Larry's done a very good job of getting these kids to buy into that, and they're very focused, and it seems to me the higher the caliber of the opponent, the more this team has to step up, and that's one of the things you got to do to be very successful in March. And you obviously need good goaltending as well, too. So we're going to be in every game that we play. And fortunately, the schedule's been kind of tough the last 3 or 4 weeks here, so we should be nice and prime going into the playoffs.
You almost can make some comparisons here, Tom, to the Steelers season, if you will. I you know, as a Steeler fan, you sometimes are tough on the Super Bowl champions, but you know, it seemed like, yeah, you sit here and wonder, can this team put away anybody? And then you start watching the caliber of play that the Steelers played. Toughest schedule in the NFL, and again, maybe that will pay the same type of dividends. I've talked about this often here when we used to have the Alderdices of the world in the AAA ranks. It was kind of like the haves and the have-nots, and almost felt sorry for some of those teams where they'd have 8 skaters on the bench and be getting beat 10-1. But boy, you don't see that anymore, and I think they've done a pretty good job reshuffling the deck here.
Yeah, you know, there's 12 teams that are going to qualify. Just to tell you how much depth there is this year, Kurt, the 12th seed could be Bethel Park, and that's no picnic in the first round, and that tells you how much depth there is in the league this year when you got Bethel Park that might be the 12th seed.
You know, I made a comment on the broadcast against Bethel Park, and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? This team has 7 wins, and just almost hard to believe where Mount Lebanon and Bethel are this season. But again, one of the things that's also an issue here, some of these kids play on different teams as well, and injuries can always be a factor. But that's probably, if you had to tell me at the beginning of the season that Bethel Park would be fighting for their playoff live, it's almost like me telling you the Dow Jones Industrial Averages broke below 7,200 today. So it's been an interesting year and a half, not only in hockey but in our economy and financial markets. And you're kind of in the same business I am too. It's been pretty brutal.
It's been a tough one to say the least, but adversity does make you tougher, though, doesn't it?
Well, I always say eventually the one great thing about our country is that we may be late to the game, but we usually get it right. So hopefully there are brighter days ahead. If not, I'm going into professional broadcasting as Bonnie gives me the thumbs up. May have to demand a raise here next year at Channel 7. These free services they're starting to take its toll.
Yeah, there's one kid I'd like to talk about. He's out there right now, Robbie Schneid. He's been hurt off and on this year, but I could tell you, being around AAA for the last 7 or 8 years, he's probably one of the brightest defensemen and most coachable defensemen I've ever been around, and that's saying something. He's a tremendous player.
Boy, a little mini flurry there in front, and the Panthers just battling here, and it looks like they're on a power play, but we are skating 5-on-5 here. And finally, the Panthers get the heat out of a hot kitchen and get that play back to center, where Strimmel, number 81, will ram that behind goaltender Reggett in a little weird carom here. And Reggett's going to let the Panthers change the troops. And we'll get some fresh guys on the ice. And in the second period, we're still scoreless at 0 with 13:20 remaining to go. Face-off controlled and kicked out of the zone where Lewis for Canon-Mac will play it. That comes off the board where Eschrick will have to go back behind Reggett. He's going to avoid a check in the corner, and a good play on the right defense there taken by number 77. Comes over to Parker Phillips, and he'll take the rush back to center. Go outlet pass number 18, Murray. He comes again off that off wing. Oh, and a little dipsy doodle of his own. A good little move there. Gets it back to the point where Lewis finds the open shot with Eschrick, and he'll put it right on from 35. Good play by Eschrick, and boy, he just steps up. I don't know if you remember number 55 of old, Chris McDonough, but boy, Eschrick just reminds me so much of Chris McDonough on that point, and just a ferocious defenseman when he hits you.
Well, that's one thing that Upper St. Clair hasn't lacked over the years, defensemen that can rush the puck and possess a wicked shot, like you said, and Esch just got tremendous legs. What I'm most pleased about is he's controlled his rushes and he's played defense first.
Yeah, looks like the Panthers are going to go on their second man advantage here. Power play situation for Upper St. Clair. That penalty is going to be doled out at the 12:25 mark. 2-minute minor, unless it's a, I don't know, there it is, finally came up, minor penalty to number 5, Lewis. Not sure what the call was for, but Panthers will indeed find themselves with the man advantage for the next 2 minutes, and we'll see if we can get that first tally. Good play by the defense as they'll shoot at the length of the ice, and Murray was almost waiting for it back there. He's got Klein, and he's going to look for some help, and an aggressive play there by number 9 for Canon-McMillan, and he's going to get caught behind the play. Good little outlet, little nice pass there by Schneiders. Oh, and he finds the breaking Klein on the off wing. Oh, shot on, and a big save by the defense. And boy, once again, Tom, you've got that off wing opportunity here, and that's probably going to, oh, I thought that was going to be called offside, but they deemed it. Murray kept it in. Stopped that play right on the blue line, and Schneiders with a drive, and that'll go right through the crease. Good play by Lewis, and he'll keep it back in as he'll forward that pass to Klein in the command position. Looking for Sellup, the big frame in the middle, and he gives it up for assistant captain number 28, Schneiders. A rebound, oh my, and that puck was on edge where Klein tried to one-time it. Oh, big-time hit there by Canon-Mac here, and it looks like the Canon-McMillan players are standing still here. Got to help him and move the puck is right here. Finally, Canon-Mac's going to win that battle. Be helped out here by Klein. And a good play here by the Panthers. And fortunately, finally, Canon-McMillan able to clear it the length of the ice. So good little flurry there, Tom. And with 32 seconds remain, a couple good opportunities there for the Panthers.
Canon-Mac got a little bit fortunate. I think James had a wide open shot, but you give credit to the defenseman number 29 who actually blocked the shot.
And Klein had a one-timer, but that puck was on edge and was unable to tee it up. And that shot went wide. Klein avoids a little nifty hit there by D'Alessandro, and he's come down with a big drive and a good save right on. Kicked away by Ryan. Oh, and a big-time hit there by Klein, and he's going to put the Canon-Mac player on his wallet. Taken by Sellup, and that'll do it. We're skating 5-on-5. Murray's going to lead the rush again on his off wing. Comes around the corner, and a centering pass looks for Klein, unable to control. All C.J. Murray here, and he risks it from the corner, and that just banks it wide. Finally, they're going to take the heat and clear it the length of the ice, and Canon-McMillan will be guilty of an icing play. And both teams will go on a wholesale line change. We've got the pom-poms going. We've got the music going. So Canon-Mac's all that tonight.
It was good to see the big hit by James Klein, because when he throws his body around like that, that opens up a lot of space, and he generates a lot more respect that way. He's such a lethal weapon when he shoots the puck. And the more he can play physical like that, the more he's going to be able to buy himself more goals and assists, which is great for our team.
Well, he's certainly had a stellar season. I think he's leading the Section 1 in scoring with points. And we have several of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Where I think Canon-Mac's very strong is they've got a lot of players in the top area, but not really so much in the top scoring because they've really got a balanced attack.
They've got a pretty balanced attack, and like a lot of high school teams, they got a lot of travel players, so sometimes you have to take the stats with a little bit of a grain of salt. When their travel players are there, though, they're a very good team.
Panthers sporting a 13-4-4 record, and right behind Canon-Mac here with a 12-6-1. So this is a huge game for both teams and could dictate the outcome of the first place in the Section 1 ranking.
This is also going to be a great test. This is very typical what we're going to expect to see in the first and second round of the playoffs, Kurt.
Play is still loose and taken out of the attack zone where number 19 will wrist it, and he'll change up for Oedeker. Taken here by assistant captain number 28 Schneiders, and he's got Klein on the left wing, and a pass is broken up in front by number 27 Almsley. Taken back on the rush is number 72 Thomas, and he'll pull up. Good play there by Harbison. Be careful here, it's loose in front. And finally going to be picked up by two Panthers, and they'll wrist it back to the neutral ice area.
Well, what we just saw right there is something that, quite frankly, the team's really done good this year. You know, when there's traffic in the slot, they have a tendency to collapse towards it and protect it. And quite frankly, they haven't always done that in the past.
Lewis in the corner, and he's out of the penalty box, and he's going to take it behind his own goaltender. Once again, Klein just throwing his weight around, getting the better of that check behind the goal as he matched up with number 5 Lewis. Taken by Esherick, and he'll get the motor going as he'll regroup behind Reggett. Unable to get it out, and finally it does come out where Sellepp will pick it up once again. Tom, left-handed shot coming down that off wing. Looks to work it back to Klein here, and he's going to be controlled by two players.
And you can see when Justin's driving the net, it just opens up so much space in front. That's how valuable that young player is. In my opinion, he's one of the unsung heroes on this team.
Yeah, and boy, just that quiet confidence, if you will. You know, you just, the next thing you know, he's not flashy by any stretch of the imagination, but he's always in position, Tom. One of the things I've really been impressed by him, he's a sniper around that goal, and boy, he's got that set of hands. It's just, he finishes the deal.
You know, and I think what's really good about him, though, too, quite frankly, is I think a lot of times what you're looking for from a sophomore is what type of captain or leader they're going to turn into as a junior and senior, and I think he's got all the skills it's going to take to do that, especially since he's developed so much confidence this year.
And that's the other thing you've really got to worry about when these kids of this caliber are really that good. And, you know, you wonder, oh, my gosh, the travel's going to get the teams are going to get the best of them. And, boy, I got to tell you, one of the nice things about the Panthers, and I don't know if that's the peers leaning on these guys, it's like, you know, we need you. And it seems like these guys really enjoy this. This is a hot part of hockey they're always going to remember at this level.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of it starts with the commitment that's led by the captains. So we got great captains with Brian Esch and Eric Surma and Theo, you know, and you got three guys like that of that caliber. They're all good players. They've all played some travel, and they act as a form of glue, and that's, you know, you kind of heard the trickle-down theory. It starts from the top, it works its way down, and I think those three have done a tremendous job, and you're seeing the benefits of that this year.
Face-off controlled by Canon-Mac right back to the point, and boy, they like to cloud up that center behind Reggett, and boy, I'll tell you, that's another thing, and that's going to be chipped into the meshing here, so we'll have a stop and play, and they might even perhaps take that outside the blue line as that puck was chipped in by a Canon-Mac player, so they will not gain a control advantage on the attack zone, so they'll take that face-off just outside the blue stripe, and with 6:37 remaining here in the contest, we're still tied at 0. Going to get our look here at Galarowski again. Out there with Chakrin and Gralty.
Our defensemen are doing Our defensemen are doing a good job going what we call stick on the opposition. It's very clear. The Canon-Mac wants to get the puck, throw the net, and they're just looking for a cheap goal off a screen or a deflect. And our defensemen are doing an outstanding job of taking their sticks away.
Oh, shot on score. And boy, that came out of nowhere. A loose puck, Tom. And you heard the crowd erupt as we're in the home rink of Canon-Mac, and he roofed it. And he beat Reggett, and the Canon-McMillan team takes an early 1-0 lead.
Well, it's like we talked about, we get some play around the blue lines. We weren't really strong there that time. Got a little bit of a bod bounce around there, and that's the type of thing that can lend itself to an opportunity. It's still very early in the game, and it's only 1-0.
Yeah, once again, boy, they just seem to have that flurry of players just hovering around the net area, and boy, a loose puck just came out, and he made no doubt about it, and he roofed it. And now the Panthers have some work cut out for them as they look and trail 1-0. Play is taken by goal is going to be by number 15 Montage. And he'll get the tally here for Canon-McMillan. And we'll have a stop and play with the face-off again, just out the blue line with 5:25 to go here in the second period. Face-off controlled neatly by McGowan. Be taken by DeGangi behind Reggett, and he's going to look on the corner to Segerdahl. Going to bank it back to center, but that pass will go by the mark of Murray, unable to control. Right back on the attack, and a wrister from 10, and a good save there by Reggett. It looks like we're going to have a stop and play. I'm not sure if that was a hand pass, but they'll have a stop and play, and looks like the Panthers will go on a change as well as Canon-McMillan. Kind of a defeating, goal there. The Panthers played really tough, and that one came out of nowhere. But again, one thing about this team, Tom, is that they play the whole 45 minutes. That's for sure.
Absolutely, it's been like that since day number one, Kurt. And again, I don't really mean to be redundant about it. When you got the type of leaders and captains we got, that's the type of output that you get from it. And like I said, there's just tremendous leadership here.
Again, we have another whistle and an aggressive play. The net came off the mooring, and once another quality shot there from the point and came right on Reggett with a good save. And boy, they really, Canon-Mac really looks for that second chance opportunity. And I think, boy, that reminds me of the teams at Bethel Park and Mount Lebanon of old. Boy, that's how they just destroy you with the second chance opportunity.
Absolutely, you take it away by creating the second chance, but defensively you have to take away those second chances as well. And that's one of the normal things you got to do in a tight game, which we've talked about we're probably going to get, and so far we're getting one tonight.
Now, you were the PIHL champ with who? North Allegheny?
A few times, yeah.
And what were the strengths of that team? Were they more just a balanced attack, or was it was it a dream team, if you will?
It's kind of some similarities to this team here. Sometimes you're just blessed with a lot of good kids that like to work hard. We had a big bench that was pretty balanced, so we could just run 20 kids out at a time, 35, 40 seconds. And that was a big advantage for us, quite frankly, with those type of numbers that most programs don't have the luxury of having.
One of the other things that I've really not liked this, and it doesn't seem that the coaching staff and yourself included employs this. What a shot by Klein! And boy, did he roof that one! And you'd have to be here to believe that shot, folks. He took matters into his own hands. He took the patented power move into the slot, and from 25, he roofed it and wristed it to tie it here at 1. What a shot by James Klein.
Plain and simply, he's a closer. The guy can shoot the puck.
Kind of a little mini screenshot as well, and Reggett gives him 5 here and gets the Panthers right back into the game. Boy, and there's nobody with a better drive than number 11, and boy, takes the losses very hard. And sometimes, Tom, you have to take matters into your own hands, and James Klein just did that with a brilliant goal from 25 feet away.
Again, it's just the type of thing this team has shown a lot of drive and determination, and it's good to see the kids come back, because those are the type of challenges that you're going to get in the playoffs.
Shot a pass on. Oh, what a brilliant save by Reggett. He got the right pad down, and a beautiful shot from the crease. And oh my.
The price they can to make, they're blocking shots, taking away the shooting lanes. And that's what you want to see. That's championship caliber.
Well, I tell you, the fans are clamoring for a penalty. They deemed that he perhaps closed his hand on the puck, and again, he was not in the crease area here. Oh, nice play there by DeGangi on defense.
A great play, played the body instead of the puck, and that's his job. Classical defense.
Play by Livingston, unable to control it. He's going to give it up for Galarowski with a shot on. Oh, and a big save, and Ryan says no.
Once this kid here, I think next year some big numbers are going to start to happen for little Steve, and he's definitely going to have big numbers by the time he's a junior and senior. Very coachable kid, and just had a great shift. You know, he was down there and he blocked the shot. People were complaining about him passing the puck, but he's allowed to pass the puck out of that defensive zone. He follows that up and skates his butt down there to get his shot down at the same time. It was a tremendous shift by Steve.
Yeah, I was just talking about earlier about one of the things. Oh, there's a little waffle shot on, and that just caromed up into the belly of Ryan. A good shot again. One of the other impressive things, too, about our point men, Tom, is, boy, when they get those shots on, they usually don't miss. They seem to get that puck on the net. Yeah,
and they've all got a lot of firepower. And if you actually watch them closely, too, they just don't throw it at the net blindly. They seem to be able to find what we call the shooting lanes. So a lot of times our shots aren't getting blocked from there, and that creates a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I was just trying to talk before Klein scored, and we've had a lot going on here in the last 2 minutes. 3:13 remains here in the second period. Little weird carom here taken by Phillips. He's going to look, oh my, and Segerdal just skated by that, and right back on the attack comes Canon-McMillan here, where Odelane's going to take it. Back to the point, a shot. Oh, another big save by Reggett right off the right shoulder. And now we're going to have a slashing call here. And I think the Panthers are going to find themselves shorthanded. And it looks like perhaps Canon-Mac might go here on a power play. And it looks like number 21, Brian Eschrick's going to get the gate. 2 minutes for slashing with 2:56 remaining here in the second. One thing I was commenting on, and again, I think the teams of NA and, especially this season, and I know perhaps some teams in the past, and I know St. Clair has been guilty of it in years past. One of the things I really don't like in the high school ranks is you'll find that sometimes 7 of your best players seem to get, 80% of the ice time. And boy, that used to frustrate, especially a sport that costs what it does to play. One of the things that I really find that you do well here is you get a really good balance, and I think that really pays off for teams that become shorthanded in the third period as well.
And it's, a lot of that's a testimony to coaching. A lot of it's a testimony to the kids, and a lot of it, quite frankly, too, is you got to be fortunate to have some type of talent like that as well, too, because there's a lot of good talent here from top to bottom at Upper St. Clair's, and that's one of the advantages you have at a program like this.
I've always said we've got the defensive lines. That's pretty evident this year, but we've got 3 pretty nice, capable offensive lines. And again, you're going to be hard to match that big gun line of Schneider, Sellup, and Klein. I mean, again, it's pretty much leading the whole AAA ranks here with scoring, and any one of those 3 can really put the biscuit in the net. Shot on another good save here by Reggett, and boy, he seems to just flourish. The more action he gets, it's like bring it on. Probably a lot like his dad who played for the Penguins. Taken again here by Klein, and he's going to avoid a check. And nice pass there right on the tape of Schneider's, and he's going to be kind of hooked, but nothing called. Play will go into the corner where they'll skate it out here with 1:35 remaining here in the second. Taken by Thomas, and Klein will look to give him the business. Play comes off the corner where Mitchell Lewis looks for an outlet pass, unable to connect here with Schneider's. Back into the defensive area where number 55, Valentine will play it. Play comes loose where Harbison will take it. Another left-handed shot, and he'll wrist it the length of the ice and take the heat out of the hot kitchen with 12 seconds remaining here in the Eschrick minor penalty. Panthers doing an excellent job here on the penalty kill. Not sure if Canon-Max even had a shot on goal, maybe 1 or 2. And that'll do it here, folks. Back to skating 5-on-5. 1 minute remains here in the second, where Murray's going to take it wide, and he'll pull a Linda Ronstadt on that defenseman. Blew by you. Takes it back to the point where DeGangi will keep it in nicely. Back to Galarowski. A little give and go here to Gralty with a backhanded play, but nobody home in front. Kicked right out in front here by Number 16 unable to control. It's still at the neutral ice area here, and Serma's going to take a big rush, and he takes it, little feather pass to Murray. Oh, and he tries to shoot a wrister, but that's going to be blocked in front by number 55. Finally an outlet pass again. Panthers just dominating play here. Kicks back into the defensive area, and we're knotted here at 1 where Lewis will take it. He'll shoot it the length of the ice, right on, deflected into the meshing, and with 3 seconds remaining, sometimes they might even want to consider pulling that goaltender and trying to get a face-off win and cloud it up. But I think in a 1-1 game with so much on the line, they're not going to take that type of chance here.
Well, I guess it all depends upon the coach. Me, I'm taking the chance at 3 seconds. It's pretty tough to get it down there in 3. But Yuri's the home coach. It's 1-1. And I'm sure he doesn't want to take any risks right now.
And I think that you're right. I think in basketball, it's not so much when the basket goes in, it's when it's released. But I believe in hockey, that puck has to be across the goal line.
Fully across the line. So 3 seconds is a standard that I've always used, as most coaches have. But he might have other things on his mind right now.
Well, we really appreciate you joining the broadcast booth. You're doing an excellent job with the comments. We're going to let him cut the ice here, and we'll be back with exciting third period of action here in a moment. Your score, 1-1 after 2. And we're back. Kirk Carruth again on your Panthers television network, joined by color commentary Tom Pandolfo. A special thanks for him being in the broadcast booth. And again, another special thanks to Bonnie Livingston for filling in for John Sarabella. So 15 minutes to go. Exciting first 2 periods of play. Panthers got behind 1-0 and gritted it out, and a brilliant shot there by Klein to tie it at 1. And next goal could be huge here, Tom.
And I think it's going to come down like it normally does in a close game. Kurt, who stays out of the penalty box, who gets the best goaltending, and who takes advantage of any opportunities they get. Probably looking at a cheap goal, looking for something around the slot.
Panthers again moving right to left in their right to left in their away jerseys here, the black jerseys, Canon-McMillan in their home whites. We've taken the show on the road here to the Isoplex at South Point, and another beautiful facility here and prime location here at the center ice area. Sometimes you just got to take matters into your own hands, and we kind of came in and acted like we owned the place. So another special thanks again, our last regular season home game here. So a congratulations and a shout out to all the seniors here of the class of 2008, 2009. Another special thanks to all the work at Channel 7 cable television network. Glenn just on the duty, and just, I don't think I've ever met Glenn, believe it or not, but I'm sure he would recognize my voice if he heard me. But another facility, and they're able to put and turn around these games for the incredible following that we have in our viewing audience. So a lot of fun for me, and sure beats sitting at home on a 19-degree evening. So been a lot of fun to watch these games, and especially the way they've been playing. Taken here by Murray, and he's going to take it end to end here, and another little nifty move here, and a wrister's just going to go wide. Going to be helped out here by Segerdal, but he's going to skate by the play, and it comes by the mark where number 36, Rivetti, will take it out. Play will come off the tape of Rivetti, and that comes back to the point where Lewis will take it, and another shot right on, and boy, another mini giveaway there, and Reggett was sharp there, and he cradled that one, Tom. And that's the last thing you want to do, is see a shot from 10 feet of that quality.
Well, you know, we talked about the blue lines before and weren't able to clear it beyond the blue line, led to a turnover, and Canon-McMillan does a good job at getting to the open seam, so we fortunately got away with that because of our equalizer, Matt Reggett.
And a little waffle shot there was deflected in front, and Reggett makes an acrobatic save there, and he gets that left paw out there. We'll face it off here again to the left of Matt Reggett with 13:19 remaining here in the third. Faceoff is controlled by the Panthers, where Trombetta will look to play it over to number 7, Galarowski. Taken by Canon-McMillan right back here at the center ice area, and a nifty little move there by Almasy. Gonna ram it down deep where the Panthers look to get it out. Once again, controlled by Canon-McMillan. Be careful here. Kept in at the point, a shot and a good blocker save there by Reggett, and he'll direct that into the corner. Panthers again just really struggling to get the play out of the zone here. Trombetta unable to control. Kept in neatly again by Canon-Mac. Gralty will bank it behind the goal where he'll look for DeGangi. Finally going to be taken by number 19, DeGangi, and he'll skate it out. Now unable to get it out once again. Good forechecking here as a pair of 19s collide. Taken again into the corner, and the Panthers have to get this puck out of the zone. Finally a good effort there by Esherick, and he'll take the icing play. And sometimes, Tom, an icing play is a blessing, as it was in that case.
Well, you must be reading my mind. Maybe we're getting some energy here working for the first time together, but we always have a good saying, there's nothing wrong with a good icing, and Esh just did a fantastic job there doing it that time.
Face-off neatly controlled there by the Canon-Mac player. Oh, and a deflection, and that just went right by the glove of Regan. He's kind of shaking his head. Not sure if that deflected in front. Taken by Schneiders in the corner, and he's going to look for Klein as he passes that rink wide. Klein's going to take on 3 players here. And boy, you saw a lot of that in the Bethel Park game. Boy, I found myself, Tom, counting the Bethel Park players more than once. It seemed like they had 3 players on every one of ours, and they were never out of position.
That's the Bethel Park plays what we'll call continuous puck support and flood game. They flood all zones. They work very hard, and that's their game. And in order to beat Bethel, I've always said you kind of have to beat their flood with your own flood as well.
Oh, giveaway there in front, and the Panthers pick his pocket as well. And Klein almost was looking for his second tally, but a big save there by Ryan. Right back on the attack. Oh, and another pad save by Regan. Shot on goes wide. Oh, my. And the Panthers, I don't know how Regan, the save of the game. They talk about the save by Peter Angelo, but you got to be kidding me. Totally on the left post, and he sprawls out, gets the right pad out. Very flexible, and as the players are padding him, what a save by Regan to keep the Panthers here in the game.
What was the big game his father had against Philadelphia? It was a 6th or 7th game, 1996, 1997.
Yeah, I think it was a big part of the run that the Penguins had, and was that the first cup that they won against the North Stars?
I think it was the second cup. Peter Angelo was in the first one, and then it was Ken Raggett in the second one, wasn't it?
I think that's right. And I like to say that was in my fun days when I went to every one of the Game 4. I was 2. My sister lived in Chicago. I went to the first 2 in Pittsburgh and went to the last 2 in Chicago. Believe it or not, it was my sister's first hockey game where the Penguins clinched the Stanley Cup. And I don't know if you remember that game, but Dirk Graham had a hat trick for Chicago. Kevin Stevens, I think, won the 3rd game. It was a 1-0 game, but Dirk Graham had a hat trick. And there had to be, Tom, I kid you not, 500 hats come on the ice, and my sister said, "This is unbelievable," and I'm like, it's all downhill from here.
That's all part of hockey, isn't it?
I often chuckle. I work with a guy at Merrill Lynch, and he has glass seats on A5, and I took my grandson about 6 months ago. He's 3.5 years old, and I took him to his first hockey game, and we were on the glass, and I looked up and I said to him, "Braden, it's all downhill from this point going forward." So pretty unbelievable. He goes and watches a game from front row, and you know, big time hit there, and a collision where Chokranen collided, and boy, I'll tell you what, he kind of had his head down, and boy, to his credit, he dished it right back to the next player, and he's got to be careful here. What you don't want to do is take a penalty here, and a good play by Chokranen. He took a good check and he skated away.
I give him a lot of credit. It's you obviously want to maintain your discipline, but he did the most important thing, which is to get back up. He's a strong kid.
And boy, that's the one thing in hockey, and I think in the NHL, good save here again by Regan as he got the left paw. But one of the things that really infuriated me, and again, you don't see as much of it perhaps in the NHL now, but boy, you know, a good time check, and the next thing you know, the player gets up and he's sticking him and he's slashing him, and they've kind of tried to get away with the stick work. But hey, tip your hat to the guy that makes a good check, pat him on the, you know, the behind, and skate on. But that's what hockey's all about. It's not about retaliating.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of it's had to do with the rule changes that they've had now too, where they've really come down harder on the stick work. And I think after a couple years of this experiment. The players have adjusted to it as well. I give Jake a lot of credit there for maintaining discipline. This is a big game. It's 1-1, and you want to stay out of the penalty box at all costs.
9:26 remains here in the third. Still tied at 1. Little backhand. Be careful here. Wide open shot again, and Reggett and a mini 2-on-1 breakout, and he cradled the puck again, and Reggett just shining here this evening, and another big-time save to keep the Panthers in this game. And here comes a little 2-on-1 of our own. Klein with a backhanded shot just goes by the crease. That's going to come back to the left point, and again, a heavy hit here. And boy, this number 16's dishing out checks like the first of the month here for Canon-Mac, a big boy here. Try to get a number on him, and another check here. And boy, Klein kind of is getting up a little bit, and he's hurting, and he's going to skate to the bench. And boy, I'll tell you what, kind of the fans are giving him the raspberries here, and Klein's just got to get back on the bench here. Might be personal, and we're going to have a stop and play, and no love lost. Boy, maybe perhaps a new backyard brawl being created here amongst ourselves. It used to be Mount Lebanon and Bethel, and now you're finding Canon-Mac and St. Clair. I think it's fair to say these two teams really don't like each other.
There's a lot at stake tonight, as the talk was in between periods, the second and third period. It's an opportunity, especially for the seniors here at Upper St. Clair, to win this game or even get a tie and end up with a division title, which they haven't had in quite a few years.
Taken by Sermon, he's going to come on his off wing, and he'll wrist it down behind goaltender Ryan. Play is still loose in the corner. Panthers doing a good job keeping it in, and finally going to be skated back out by Goret. Taken around the corner, and Escherich's going to lose his blade as both players will go down. Good little outlet pass to Segerdal, and right on the tape here of Parker Phillips. Outlet pass over to Murray, and he tries to move around the defense on a good effort. He's going to be corralled by two players. Centering pass is going to be blocked in front. Play is still kept in here at the left point by Mitchell Lewis. Fans are now all standing here for Canon-Mac. Oh my, that was loose. Shot on, score! And you'd have to be here again. And Ryan's coming out. He lost sight of the puck. And Murray's going to get the tally here. And a big-time goal by the Panthers. Ryan lost sight of it. It hit the right post, Tom. It came right out in front, and Murray rammed it home to take a 2-1 lead.
I'll tell you where a lot of that big play started, though, is credit to Brian Esch. We instruct our defensemen that when teams go down to block shots, don't take your time to the slap shot. Get the puck, throw it at the net before the opposition gets time to reorganize. Make sure the goaltender doesn't get an opportunity to get set up. Brian threw it at the net, and it created a nice rebound that CJ was able to bury.
Almost an absolute back-breaking goal. It started to get really intense here. The fans really starting to be a part of this game. They're still standing here. All left side of them are standing here. And boy, again, it's going to be tough to broadcast. We've got to give it the old down in front here. But boy, the Panthers take the all-important 2-1 lead. And boy, let's see if we can sit on it and boy, take a victory. It would be a big-time win in a hostile environment.
You know, another really good thing about that, too, Kurt, is that the Canon-Mac coach is trying to match his lines with our lines as well, too. Obviously, his focus has been on stopping the Klein line, but when you're able to get scoring from what we'll call the Murray line right now, you know, that makes it that much more difficult for Canon-Mac to prevail.
Shot on, another big save by Reagan. He's taken down. And an aggressive play as they went right after. And boy, Reagan's just been the #1 star of this game here. The kind of even fixes his own net, so he's kind of just doing it all here. And he's putting on the Ritz. And what a save by Reagan. Another backhanded play, another big save there in front by Escherich. Tried to get it out by a hand pass, unable to get it out, and giving up the body in front. They're flying all over the area, Schneiders, right back to the point. Another save in front. Finally taken by Escherich, and he'll backhand it, but picked off by the offensive player for Canon-Mac. He looks to center again here, and another good play. And look at Schneiders playing both ends of the ice here.
Schneiders was the one.
Shot on again and saved by Reagan, and point blank from 5. Oh my, and it's all Canon-McMillan. And boy, very aggressive again, Tom, here in front. And boy, the Panthers look tired out here. We need a line change. Livingston unable to get it out. Still back, all controlled by Canon-Mac on the tape of Livingston, and does a good job to get it out, and he'll look to change. Little giveaway, here comes Klein, he's looking to bury it. Shot's just gonna go wide. Followed up by Schneiders, and he's been out there a long time, and a heavy hit on him. And a penalty's gonna be doled out. And a little extracurricular here, and the fans are cheering, but I think they're gonna find themselves getting a boarding call here. And we're gonna have to see what plays out, but the Panthers have to skate away here, Tom. And with 5:53, they might find themselves going on a man advantage here to really put the nail in the coffin here. See if referee Cook's gonna call here. Got a boarding call indeed, and the Panthers find themselves with a man advantage. And a big-time mistake here by Canon-McMillan with the game on the line with 5:53 remaining. Take kind of a silly, aggressive penalty there, and Schneiders was taken hard into the boards, and it looks like he skates away, and the Panthers now find themselves up a man with the next 2 minutes.
Very appropriate. It was Schneiders that drew the penalty because he's the one that made it all happen in the defensive zone by blocking the shot. That's the type of thing we always haven't seen here over the years, and he's one of the leaders on the team.
Boy, he was out on an extended shift too, and boy, kind of an interesting situation. Here comes a little shorthanded situation. He's got to beat Lewis, and Lewis will take him hard into the corner. Oh, a centering pass, and that goes right by the mark, and Schneiders again right out there. Here comes Sellup, and he's going to get the motor going here across the blue line as he'll go across the red stripe. Takes it in. He's got Klein trailing. He's tripped, nothing called. Comes outside the zone, and little mini breakaway themselves, and Olimar here is going to get a tripping call. Are you kidding me? And the Panthers now are going to go on a two-man advantage. And we're finding now a 5-on-3 advantage for the next minute 17, and a tripping call. Maybe use a timeout here, Tom. And I think Coach Marks might be calling a timeout here. And oh my, literally a penalty-free game here, and the Panthers now find themselves for the next minute and 17 on a two-man advantage.
And it might even lend itself to longer than that as well too, Kirk. As long as Canon-Mac's behind, they have to win this game. They're going to have to pull their goaltender out at some point, so it's almost like it's making it a 3-minute power play right now.
Well, one of the interesting things I've always commented about the 5-on-3 situation is it's really key, Tom, if you can get that first goal in the first minute and 17 seconds, because as you well know, it's not the bigger penalty that comes off, it's the shorter one. So in essence, you can find yourself scoring a goal and still having time left on a second man advantage.
Absolutely, and the other advantage too is that the opposition coach is going to have to throw out his best players. The more he has to keep his best players out there penalty killing, the more that's going to wear them down. So it does give you a lot of opportunities, both offensively and defensively.
Well, as I said, boy, the Panthers just skating with a ton of confidence here. I've got to tell you, teams of old that would get down 1-0 might have, been hanging their heads, if you will. And if anything, this team motivated this team to take it to the next level. What they've got to understand is now you got to bury this team, and you've got a 2-1 lead, and let's seal the deal here. Taken by face-off controlled, and boy, Klein's going to take a drive. Oh my, and a big shot, and you heard that. That hit the pipe all the way up here. Back to the point where Lewis will take it. Once again, the fans are all over the ice. One-timer again, a big save by Ryan. And he's going to hold on, and with 4:49 remaining here in the third, Panthers still enjoy a two-man advantage for the next 56 seconds.
And we'll have to watch this closely. I like what Larry's doing. He's got Sellup doing the dirty work in front. And one guy who I think deserves a lot of credit this year is James DeGangi. He's done a tremendous job. He's got good hands, smart kid, and Larry's putting him out there right now, I think, on the anticipation that, he could use his hands to get a rebound. And JD's just done a phenomenal job this year. But again, it's Sellup down there doing the dirty work.
I've been calling the goaltender 26 Ryan, and that's what's on the score, but I don't think that's what the name says, so I'm not actually sure. I have Pilar, yeah, I think it begins with a P, so my apologies. I've been calling number 26 Ryan all night, and they have, it's Ryan Polanis, that's right. I've been calling him by his first name, I'm sorry. So Polanis is in goal, Ryan is his first name. I actually thought that was his last name, so not too far off. So we're on a first-name basis with the Canon-Mac goaltender here. Oh, shot! Oh, he shoots and scores! And a set play, and DeGangi's going to ram it home. And the Panthers go up 3-1 and got the all-important goal, Tom, in that first power play. Big-time setup play, and DeGangi sealed the deal.
Great pass, actually, from Mitch Lewis. Another great pass by James DeGangi, but as we talked about, the great pass from Klein, but James DeGangi got great hands down. It was a great move by Larry Marks, and just a great teamwork right there, and now it's 3-1.
Wow.
And as you were talking about before, we still got another power play to go.
Well, I tell you what, that's how you answer a hostile environment. Klein just takes matters again into his own hands, and that'll quiet the crowd. It's the best way to do it, and the Panthers just feel really, really good. And one more opportunity here, and again, they're getting a lot of the business from the fans here, and they've just got to ignore these guys.
They just pulled their goaltender as well. And another thing that's really impressive there as well, too, Kurt, is that James has a reputation as a shooter. If you watch that play closely, that you'll see that all their players were gravitating towards him. One of the things that you like to see is your players develop. And Klein just did a great job at dishing off the puck because they were probably expecting him to shoot.
Well, that was the weirdest move I've ever seen. They brought another goaltender in, and Polanis just stayed in the game. So I don't know what that was all about. Maybe that's... Well, I don't know. It is what it is. They actually had two goaltenders on the ice, but indeed the Panthers here still have a one-man advantage and now a commanding 3-1 lead here with only 4:26 remaining. Shot by Esherick, and that's going to go right on, and a good save by Polanis. And he'll hold on for a stop and play, and just an absolute back-breaking goal. And what you've got to do when you have that opportunity is seize the moment.
And another thing that we've got to do, though, too, is we can't take this for granted. There's always a saying, the most dangerous lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead. And shorthanded or power strength, it doesn't make a difference. We want to make sure that we play defense first here as well.
Again, a good call on the pass by Lewis as well. I think Klein got an assist there too, but a big-time shot by DeGangi. And again, almost a little set play where he snuck in from the left point. And again, another just a great opportunity. And Polanis kind of was protecting the left side. That pass came through the crease, and we had an open netter, and he made no doubt about it. And again, a tremendous angle here from where our telecast and the broadcast is.
Canon-Mac's starting to show that their legs are getting tired down from the consecutive penalties. Their coach is shorting the bench as well, too, and that's starting to show itself in the third period. It's the advantage of having a big bench again.
And again, a 2-goal deficit never hurts as well. That'll take the wind out of your sails. So again, you answered the way you had to, and you put the puck in the net, and that'll certainly quiet the crowd. They're still standing, though. They're still trying here with 3:19 remaining and 7 seconds remaining in the man advantage for the Panthers. Taken by Murray, and he'll chip it back to DeGangi. Once again, DeGangi again makes that shot, Tom. I've been talking about it all night, but the right-handed shot coming down that left side, and he, again, just set it up and rammed it home on a perfect pass from Lewis.
James is very good at reading the play, has excellent vision on the ice. He's actually able to do the same thing when he's playing the point. He amazes me. He's able to almost angle the puck almost as good as the pros do sometimes. A very special player.
Well, the old spring-loaded arm, you knew that was going to happen. A little tripping call, and you get a two-man advantage, and one thing you got to be careful of, and probably even in the coaching ranks, is you got to take these boys aside and say, guys, be careful. Probably the next penalty's coming on us. So he was tripped over the blue line. Little timeout here by Canon-Mac. And they're going to rest their troops for the next minute here. And Lewis is going to get the gate a 2-minute minor penalty for tripping. And that penalty is going to come at the 2:46 mark.
And for all intents and purposes, Kurt, unless anything unusual happens with respect to Canon-Mac committing a penalty, they're basically going to be on a man advantage the rest of the way. They got a power play for 2 minutes. After that's done, if they don't, whether they put the puck in the net or not, they're probably going to pull their goaltender. So they're going to be pretty much have a man advantage here for the next 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull this man advantage for the goaltender, if you will, Tom, before the 2 minutes is up. It could even be a strategy right now, to pull that goaltender, if you will. You've got to score 2 times, even perhaps 3 times. They need more than a tie here. But again, first things first, they can always go to the overtime period. But I wouldn't be surprised if the coach would determine to pull that goaltender to take advantage of a 2-man advantage with the 2:46 remaining.
We'll have to see. Some coaches work on that, some don't. And He's a pretty good coach. He actually had experience playing under the great Russian coach there many years ago, so he's brought a lot of his European concepts here to Canon-Mac. And we'll have to see what type of gambler he is here. The Russians usually play it pretty conservative, though.
Well, we're going to see. It looks like I might be right. So
much for being conservative.
So I have one up on the AAA NA rank, former Penguin Cup champion, and I got one on the coach here. So boy, I tell you what, they're gonna go with the mustard here. They're bringing the heavy hitters out. 6-on-4, a two-man advantage as Canon-Mac has pulled the goaltender. And now what you need is a proverbial no-brainer here. Shoot that the length of the ice and just let it go home. And one of the other advantages, Tom, that the Panthers have is they will not be guilty of an icing play here as they're shorthanded.
That's correct. Plus, Theaters has actually played defense in the past too, so it's like having a third defenseman out there.
Play is kept in neatly by the Canon-Mac, and oh my, and a good play there by Lewis, and he's tripped, oh my, and they're going to get another man advantage here. Lewis was tripped at the blue line. They've got a delayed penalty. They may want to let the Panthers finally touch it. I was going to say you'll sometimes find, Tom, that the Canon-Mac player will actually dish that to the defenseman to let him touch it to get the now you're really behind the 8 ball. You're going to have a 6-on-3 situation developing here, and the Panthers have found themselves taking 2 late penalties here, and with 2:07 to go, that's an eternity, and the Panthers now have a really, really tough task to climb here with a tripping minor here on number 28, Schneiders. Face-off controlled and won, but oh my, that's going to come off the blade. Back to Murray, right on the tape. He's going to shoot at the length of the ice. Oh, and it just goes wide. And Murray looked to put the nail in the proverbial coffin, and that shot just went wide on a 2-man disadvantage here. Going to be skated over by number 16. He's going to take it end-to-end. Back to the point where it's coming to Lewis, and a little give and go, and good play there by number 16, a wrister, and that's going to go high and wide. Rebound comes out in front. Lewis with the one-timer, and that goes wide. Murray's going to backhand it, but unable to get it out. Kept in at the left point by Lewis. Little one-timer in the corner, and a big pad save by Regan and DeGangi there to clear it around the corner. And we got an interference call here now. And again, that's kind of a moot point at this stage, unless that's against Canon-Mac, but not sure where that penalty's coming from.
It's against Canon-Mac.
Actually, it is an interference play, maybe some blocking or screening in front. And that play is a big-time penalty. That's going to now move it to a really an open ice situation where you're skating 5 against 3. And the time of that penalty was at the 1:24 mark. So Panthers now find themselves down by 1, but with the pulled goaltender, still find themselves shorthanded by 2. Play comes.
Ask for a better ending than this as long as we come out on top, eh, Kurt?
Well, I tell you, what a just a brilliant game to call here. We're kind of glad we took the show on the road. We had all intentions of taking this up to State College, and another brilliant save there by Regan. He has just shined here in the third period. But we had all intentions of taking the show on the road this season to State College, unable to do it. Shot on, and again, Regan just with a tremendous sense of where his crease is. They're just letting him walk right in, and another save there by Regan. Again, temper starting to really heat up here. Frustration a lot, and this is, again, I think the referees, Tom, have done a really good game controlling the emotions, and these are the games that can get really out of hand late in the contest.
Absolutely, and they've actually been making calls that sometimes you don't see. Sometimes they have a tendency to put the whistle wag. Give them credit. They've done it against both teams as well.
Yeah, you got to keep the fresh troops out here. We've got 42 seconds remaining. Another face-off win here, crucial face-off win here for Canon-Mac. Shot on, another tremendous right pad save, and boy, does he kick that out. It's almost like a boomerang effect when it comes off his pad, and Regan just a stellar star here in the pipes tonight. Once again, another late penalty here. We've got another boarding call, and again, I don't think that's going to affect play on the ice because they're not going to let more than 3 players at one time. That could affect play in the overtime if Canon-Mac were able to get 2 goals here, but Panthers will still find themselves shorthanded by 2 here. And we've got 25 seconds remaining as a boarding call against Ganji, and he'll get the gate. Face-off is controlled once again by Canon-McMillan. Back to the point where Lewis will take the drive. Shot again deflected by the stick of Reggett.
A little bit of an assist there from Eric Sermerswell, too, taking away the shooting lane.
Shot, oh my, goes right through the crease. Reggett down on the ice, and the Panthers unable to get it out. 6 seconds to go. Rister, another shot, and that'll do it, folks. The Upper St. Clair Panthers are going to bring home the Section 1 first place, and they are swarming goaltender number 1, Matt Reggett, in a big-time victory and a total team effort here. Your Section 1 AAA champs, the Upper St. Clair Panthers, on a brilliant game tonight in a very hostile environment.
And a huge assist there to Matt Reggett as well, too. We've been talking about Canon-Mac playing 5-on-3 or 6-on-3, but they were actually playing 5-on-4.
Well, definitely Reggett's going to get the number 1 star tonight. He was just stellar in goal. Larry Marks down there hugging him. Just a brilliant effort. Just an incredible sign of maturity by this team. And I tell you, sometimes, Tom, these are the games that can propel you to the next level. And boy, congratulations to the 2008-2009 Panthers. And Joey, just class skating away here, and a victory is a victory. And boy, after an 0-2 start, what a turn of events for this team. It's very impressive.
Absolutely. It's kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers again, playing that tough schedule. Starting off with a very difficult game in Pine Richland, but if you could recall, we outshot them 45-20 in that game, and these kids still remember that, so they don't have any fear of any of those teams out there. I think they'll be well prepared for any opponent that they face.
Well, once again, a special thanks to Bonnie Livingston doing the camera, and Tom, just an excellent job. We just have not had a color commentary in the booth, and boy, it sure makes my job easier, and it was a lot of fun working with you, so special thanks from me to you.
Thank you, and let's hope the stock market starts to pick up again in the near future. Huh?
Amen. Well, on your Panthers high-definition Channel 7 television network, we are going to sign off for the final game of the season. Lots of luck to the Section 1 champs, and the best of luck in the Penguin Cup playoffs near to come. So I'm sure we will keep you posted. We'll take that show on the road, and the Panthers will definitely enjoy the first playoff game at home. So for Bonnie Livingston, Tom Pandolfo, I'm Kurt Carruth signing off on your Panthers television network. Good night, everybody.